From not feeding kids in programs to forcing kids towards normality and away from themselves, ABA has had a dark history. Today we're going in depth about the dark history. This is the dark truth behind ABA, Applied Behavioral Analysis. Let's start at the beginning of ABA with a Norwegian man named O. Ivar Lovas. Lovas was hired by UCLA in 1961 to do work with autistic children and train them to be normal. He used techniques that would be often considered unethical in today's world. His techniques used rewards and punishments and were often very harsh on children. He often used electric shocks as well as physical force in order to change. Lovas also took a lot of ideas from animal training at the time. He used some techniques from B.F. Skinner, like something similar to the Skinner box. The Skinner box is an electrified box with a lever to give the animal reinforcement and is used for research. He used a lot of things very similar to that, like with electric shocks and reinforcement. Animal research at the time was focused on eliminating behaviors, not the underlying cause of those behaviors. Lovas's ABA was also very similar to this. Lovas and many others at the time thought that masking the action could cause change in the person's brain. He punished children with autism for doing what their bodies told them to do. In animal training, they say punishing a dog for growling is like removing the ticker from a time bomb. You got rid of the ticker noise, but the bomb will still go off. This definitely applies to autism and ABA with regards to things like stimming. Lovas also had a big role in trans and gay conversion therapies. These are very controversial and should not have existed and should not exist. He even co-authored an article in the Journal of ABA about them. However, this is not what this video is about, and I might touch on it in a later video. Lovas has also published the main study that supports ABA. This study had a 40-person control group and a 19-person test group. The results showed that ABA was very successful in helping children with autism improve how they acted. 9 out of 19, or 47% of the test group, were indistinguishable from regular children. Another 9 people in the study showed significant improvements. This is compared to 1 out of 40 who acted the same as their peers in the control group, and around 40% of the control group showed a significant improvement. This study considered success at least significant improvement, and the rate of that was at 90% in the study. However, the study is very small, and the results may not be able to be replicated on a larger scale. I also feel that it shouldn't support modern ABA. The study is from 1987 and is based on the Lovas method. Many BCBAs, board-certified behavior analysts, claim that ABA used now is very different from Lovas's. However, many places on the internet and elsewhere use the study to support the modern ABA. What I'm saying is that this study is not an appropriate reference for the success of modern ABA. There needs to be a newer, larger study on the success rate of modern ABA in all of its different forms. ABA isn't just one therapy. There are many different therapies under ABA, like DTT and PRT, to name 2. Each one needs to be studied better in order to realize how successful they actually are, just like the whole of ABA. ABA has supposedly progressed, so the stats on its success should not be the success of old ABA. Even the ABA of today is very controversial. There are so many horror stories online that you can read that are honestly terrifying. I haven't experienced ABA myself, but these stories make me so glad of that. The fact that these are so common is very troubling. Many of these stories don't come out until the children become adults. It took them that long to process what was done was wrong because nobody told them it otherwise. Even some therapists have come out to say what they had to do when ABA was just wrong. Stories have come out from autists who have worked as ABA therapists and were told to practically torture children for their own good. They were told to change what the children felt was natural, and in some cases had to restrain the child because they refused to speak. Therapists were always told that what they were doing was for the child's own good, and that the child would one day become a normal person in society. They were told that what they were doing was to make the child normal. That was totally okay to do horrible things for compliance. The ABA has also changed, and it's now good. These are some of the falsehoods that are being told to the therapists by their superiors, and maybe even to the superiors that are being taught that when they go to school. ABA has changed, a lot of BCBAs and RBTs say. ABA now is better than Lovas's ABA way back when. Then you hear the stories of the people in ABA and what they hear and feel. What happens in their sessions can often be traumatizing. Viewer discretion is advised for the next section until this timestamp on screen. I will be reading off a story on neuroclastic.com by the author Alexander's Treasure Blog. The link will be in the description. This story is about someone else, but it is spoken in the first person. It is not about me. On hurling myself into traffic to get out of ABA therapy by Alexander's Treasure Blog. Some background. I'm an autistic teenager who has been forced into attending court-ordered applied behavioral analysis, or ABA. These are the experiences that led me to running into traffic to get away from it. From what I've experienced with behavior therapy, I feel like the RBT therapists who want to help me actually belittle me and make me feel incapable of doing what I can do, and constantly push me to do tasks as simple as flashcards, analog clock quizzes on an iPad, and easy reading comprehension way below my ability. They make me take notes in a notebook on how many I got right or wrong. They even collect data on how many times I apologize. I feel like a lab rat in a maze, and the cheese at the end is when I get to go home. I don't know what I'm doing there. I've asked them what my goals were, and they said that they always change until I'm 18. This was devastating because I thought if I played along and tried, I would graduate out of ABA. Every time they tell me to work harder, I physically can't because of all the other children in the other rooms screaming their heads off. There's also the music on the other iPads that other kids use too. I can't handle hearing young children screaming, and it's happening all the time. Sometimes they have these very young kids in the room with me, as young as 3 years old. This is not just because of autism and noise sensitivity. I've never seen anyone comfort the kids who are screaming. I'm always told that I'm scripting every time something is difficult. For example, when I said I didn't like how something made me feel, they said, "You're scripting." Scripting is repeating words someone else said, so telling me that I said that because I'm autistic. I can't even have feelings or talk about them. Recently, they made me do a test where I had to answer a bunch of multiple choice questions, such as, "Are you able to count to 3? And then they made me do inferences on worksheets. Again, those autistic people take things literally stereotypes. I don't struggle with that at all, and I've been doing it for a while. They focus on everything I can't do. Do they think I'm incapable? I feel like they're trying to make me less autistic. They describe things and focus on things that are stereotypes of autism, like conversion therapy. The most recent ABA drop-off was the most difficult because not only was I dealing with school, I was dealing with other stressors. Mostly, I could not bear the idea that I would have to do this until I was 18. I had a panic attack after my mom dropped me off, and I ran before entering the door to the clinic. Therapists who always wanted to help me chased after me, and I felt like I had no choice but to run into the middle of moving traffic. I could not work anymore for ABA. And that was what I kept repeating myself in my head as I ran into evening traffic. I tried to run back to the sidewalk, but it was too late. I was hit by a car. The two therapists who had been chasing me slowly backed away, and I watched them leave me there. That was definitely helpful. I went to the emergency room in an ambulance, feeling traumatized. After all, I got slammed on my side by a car and watched people who said they only wanted to help walk away. That's the story. All credit goes to Alexander's Treasure Blog and neuroclastic.com. If you know anyone who has been through or is going through ABA therapy, please support them. They might really need the help and haven't gotten it. Hopefully they've had a better experience, but honestly, one can't be too sure. If you have a story similar to this, please reach out to us if you want it to be on our website or if you just want to talk with someone about this. You can email contact@autistsforchange.org or reach out to us on our contact form at autistsforchange.org/contact. We also have to mention the increased chances of PTSS. PTSS, or post-traumatic stress symptoms, have an increased chances of showing up when a child is exposed to ABA. Nearly half the people in the study who were exposed to ABA met the threshold for PTSD. 47% of those who met the threshold also had severe cases of PTSD. Autists who weren't exposed to ABA had a 28% chance of showing symptoms of PTSD. Overall, everyone who was exposed to ABA had an 88% higher chance of having PTSS. ABA really shouldn't be the first line of support for people with autism. Considering it can be court-ordered, it really should be less traumatizing. ABA is really not a good thing, and I hope you got that from this video. If you enjoyed or are interested in this, please leave a comment down below in case someone who is going through ABA needs some support. I'm Sam Henderson, creator of AutistsForChange.org, and I hope to see you in the next one. Go out there and be amazing.